What's going on, guys? Cyn for the win here. We are back with our franchise mode as the Vancouver Canucks, and we're here at the trade deadline deciding if we should make some moves here. Some people saying leave the rosters how they are. Other people saying to make some of the moves to free up space for some of the younger defensemen. And I'm a bit on the fence about it. Everyone was making some great points here. Obviously, the chemistry, sometimes you don't want to ruin that. And then you got to think, how important is the top six to how we're doing? Well, with the plus minus, it's great. A counter argument is that the defense is plus minus up here. Parse is way better, which is a fair argument. But then you got to consider they're the top pairing of the defense, and how many points is the top line getting. It's a fair amount, but the plus minus is not as good as the other one. The top two lines are kind of the same here. So, yeah, some of that plus-minus for this defensive core is definitely theirs alone. So, I am very torn about it. It's really tough. It's a really tough call here. So, the thing I'm thinking is, Trampkin, he's got 1 year left. So, it's either you trade him now or you give him up to free agency. Other people are going to go. Coop most likely is a bust by this point, so we can move him out immediately. Probably trade him if we wanted to. We have other guys in the AHL who probably maybe grow a bit more, or we could just use this guy to to help dominate down there. But I mean, he'll have to drop down to the second pairing, but most likely because Makkinen's going to come up. If we leave Makkinen down there, he only just was listed to be depth, so I don't think it'll hurt him too much. We can bring him up in case of injury. He'll be the first guy we call up. Maybe it'll benefit him more to play on the top pairing in the AHL to dominate, with Stoll here. We'd have to see, but I mean, if you look at the points, man, Stoll was going crazy. Makkinen, if he jumped up on that line with him, should have a great time. So that's where I'm thinking right now, and then we could have Coop somewhere down here playing, or we could trade him. So, it's really tough. I'm thinking maybe we can keep Trampkin. Sure, we can get rid of him for nothing, but how much trade value does he have? Do we really need that trade value, in a big way? Not too sure. I mean, trade value is always nice. Always nice to get stuff back in return for players, but you also consider we've also signed a lot of players for free. So, it's tough. It's a tough decision, obviously. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking, what do we have? We have 2 firsts this year, actually. And nothing much else, but still 2 firsts. So we're going to have kind of another strong drafting area where we can probably move up if we wanted to. Grabbing some more seconds would probably help us move up, but if we're going to go for quality over quantity, then we don't necessarily need to. This wild guy is basically going to be NHL ready next year. Easily. I mean, he's 78 now. Still got 3 years, this is his first year being signed, he should be really good. Makkinen, I'm hoping, he's probably going to be good. I mean, he's 81 and 19, Letang, Gagliardi, that's a bit more worrying because they're kind of, falling off here. Letang getting some points. So if he grows in the offseason, maybe Gagliardi, same thing. I don't know. We'll kind of have to see that, but Trampkin, that value is pretty good. I mean, it's not great. You maybe get a second for that, which could turn it into a similar player. Thing about that, man, is this guy, his stats, his defensive stats, the way he seems to be playing with getting hardly any points, to have a plus-minus like that is really good, to be honest. It is very good. And you think about the third line, they don't have the hugest amount of points. Meyer, I think Jonta's on that third line as well. And not Granlund, but Gagliardi, I believe, is on that third line. Yeah, I mean, they don't have the hugest point totals. There are also some minuses, so it's how is this pairing that good with the plus-minus? It's got to be something, so I'm torn. I think I should trade Coop here, not even use him down in the AHL. We could if this guy's going to bust, which it looks like he is at 22, still on at 81, he could break out, but at the same time, we already have Stoll to play a top 6, pocket mover if we need to. We have Makkinen coming up. We got Parse. That should take care of the top, what am I trying to say? The top 6 stuff. So that's what I'm thinking, is we should shift this guy. Stoll or shift Stoll, but I kind of like Stoll more, because although his defensive stats are a bit lower overall, He did help us win a cup, and he seemed to do well there. So I'm thinking instead of Trampkin, we maybe throw Coop in to try to get something. And then we can move up Parse. No question. Sure, it'll be 2 lefties, but I don't know if that'll matter a huge, huge amount. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Is to move up Parse, then move Makinen up to the top pairing, and then we have a few more defensemen in the AHL to throw in. Even ones that are still kind of growing. Like, I think we have a 21-year-old at 77 who's with top 6 potential. So there's another potential guy who might be able to get into a role. It's a little less likely since we've sat him, but that's kind of where I'm at. We still might be able to get a second here for this guy. So we kind of need to find someone or find a place that kind of wants the guy. And it looks like a lot of teams want him. So let's say we go to Winnipeg. This guy's not going to help him become a winning team. We can get a second. That's almost going to be close to a first-round pick, you know. Maybe late, but hey, they want to give up the second. Now, that's actually quite a bit of value. And they would have too many skaters. So that option might not be the greatest. We could always... Well, let's see here. Oh, they don't want to give up seconds. Yeah, I would like to get a second. The values obviously are going to be a problem. But as close as we can get, basically, is where I'm at. So Ottawa might be the better option here. God damn, everyone has too many skaters here. I'm trying to find someone with... Okay, here we go. This should work. And, of course, I don't want to give it up. Damn it. I kind of need it on the block. Because if I'm going to trade some later picks for it, we kind of need it on the block to move up with it. So, that's, again, it's a bit of give and take here. Shit. Come on. All right, this should work. Okay, okay. This one's in there. It's not as much value because they're kind of close. All right, so what the... Too many skaters. I really can't afford to take someone back in this deal. It kind of needs to be... Okay, they're close, but they still might make them... And they don't want to give up picks. Yeah, typical. Yeah, this is actually going to be really... this is probably a goalie. It's always a goalie when they're always like one below. It's usually a goalie, which makes this really hard. Okay, these guys are borderline. They're listed to be a champion, so they're willing to give up these picks. They still might make the playoffs, but at least that gets us closer. And we can maybe chuck in some later picks, like the 6 or something. Or maybe some later picks from the next year. Value on the table's too far off. If I throw in that 6 here, would that push it across? I'd love to get this another second. That looks really close. And with the blocks, it might work. It really might work here. So I'm going to try to do this. Now, again, Coop still might get a jump. I'm thinking he's more or less a bust, but he might still get a jump with the value he has, you know? So it's always a risk to do this, but to get that return, and then, you know, we should have other players like him. We already got the guy in the top 4 role, so we don't necessarily need this guy. Plus, his stats compared to the other guys are not as good, in my opinion. So let's try to get this. Coop and a 6 for a second. This probably still won't go through, but we could try it. Sweeten the value just a touch. So we could probably get away with sending in a later 7th to get this. And I would be willing to do that. Let's do a 7th from next year. That's not too much. We'll sweeten the value just a touch. We're getting a second. Can we get anything else if we throw in that 7th? Most likely not, but I'll try to get a 4 in there. That's probably not going to work, but we'll try to get everything we can. Value, yeah. I figured. I mean, they said to sweeten the value just a touch, and I'm like asking for more at the same time, which is always weird to do, but sometimes you can get away with it, especially if it matches the blocks. But in this case, most likely not. Trying to get a 6 and stuff. I'm just seeing what else we can get for maybe future value a bit low. If we can get a 7, it doesn't make sense to get a 7. Really doesn't. But yeah, so I think we'll just try this. A 6 and a 7 for this second. Yeah, that's about, unless I can get although they said sweeten the value just a touch, I probably can't do it for 2 7s and keep this 6. I'll try it anyway, but I highly doubt I'll be able to do that. But hey, never know. 2 7s is better than a 6 and a 7. We'll try that 2 7s for that second. Yeah, no, now it's saying just a bit low. So yeah, get rid of that idea. Chuck back in the 6. We're using actually the 7th from a couple of years. So that might not actually go through because sometimes they lose more value over the years. But we'll try it anyway. Okay, so that would work. Saying we have to call someone up, that makes sense. And I think this would be a solid move. We're getting a second. For a guy who most likely isn't going to break out of the top 6. So it's most likely a fair deal. So we're going to do that. And then that should be the main trade. Some people are going to lose a bit of morale. So yeah, especially some guys who had chemistry with him. But do I have to call this guy? Oh no, I don't have anyone to call up. That's right. Herp derp. Go to roster moves. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't make any changes, so we're all good. So yeah, as we're doing this youth movement, it kind of makes sense to kind of bring at least someone up. But I did want to hold on to Trampkin at the same time. So I could move up Stoll, but we already know he's top 6. He probably won't. He might drop after keeping him down here for a year, but he might not at the same time. Parse, on the other hand, he's what, 21? And this is the perfect time to bring him up. Defensive stats are good, really solid. They're pretty much kind of like the other guys, except a bit better. He doesn't have the good offensive stats, but hey, he is a lefty, but I don't care. We'll call him up for sure. And then Makinen can play in that top 2 role. He could be called up in case of injury, and that will be perhaps his depth time. So there we have it. That's the call up right there. We'll throw him in. I won't sub in all lines. I'll kind of see where Coop was and do some other stuff. So we'll throw Parson here. That'll be it. I could play him on his natural side, but I kind of want to keep Trampkin over here just in case that's what's making him hella good. I don't want to screw up the chemistry too much. So let's see, where was he? Wasn't on the power play, he was on the penalty kill. Okay, so Trampkin, Hutton, yep. Ulevi. I say, yeah, Parse can go in there. He had pretty damn good stats, and no one else really has those stats. I don't think Holtby, nope. He's not the guy, so Parse definitely. Yep, get Parse in there on the PK. And then I have to put him in on the extra. So I could have subbed him in all lines, but I kind of wanted to be sure that I wasn't going to get messed up. All the chemistry messed up or something like that. So it's all good. This won't take too long. Why is the... Oh, interesting. For some reason, Holtby didn't get moved up on these lines. Whoops. Oh, well. That's not a big deal. Again, 4-on-4 is not as common as it once used to be in the NHL. So it's all good. Alright, throw Parse in there. Alright. And for here as well, and that should take care of everything. So there you have it. Parse making his NHL debut. Let's go to the AHL and switch that up. Makinen goes up to the top pair. Where was he? Okay, special teams look good. Makinen should be, yep. Okay, good. It was the extras. Okay, that makes sense then. Okay. I'll just, wait. Let me go back to extras here. Put Makinen in there. And then I'll do the other guy. Yeah. We'll do that for the 3-on-3 as well. Yeah. There we go. And then we'll sub someone in right here. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do... We have a few options here. I can move up Boumediene. It depends on what the other guys are listed. This guy's listed to be top 4 now, so it might be, although he's already 80 overall, he's basically what he's going to be, I think. Unless he breaks out, but I don't think it happens. I'd rather... This guy's listed to be depth, sure, but putting him in at this point is probably the best option because he hasn't played. This guy's already 23, so I don't foresee him getting much better. The best chance we have here is with the 21-year-old. So that's who I'm going to throw in here. I will sub in all lines in this case because it should just put him in all the gaps. It was the extra gaps, I think. So, yeah, he should be... Oh, wait. No, yeah, because I forgot. Yeah, I didn't move him out. So, I could just leave Makinen in there for twice on the 4-on-4. That won't matter too much because, like I said, it doesn't matter. Just in general. Okay, we'll just leave the lines how they are. I don't care about the extras too much for the AHL. All right, so now here's the NHL lines. Just another defenseman in there for Coop. Hopefully, Holtby still continues to get better. He should. I mean, he's only 21. So we should improve at least to like an 86, and that would be fine for a top 4. Because we still have an 88 who's going to play with him, most likely. And then, yeah, these guys are on the decline. So that's what we're looking at right now. And that will be, I think, the trade we make at the deadline. I don't think we need too much more. I think that was pretty much it. Those are the changes. And like I said, when it comes to the playoffs, Makinen will be the first one to jump up. But him and Stoll playing together should be killer. We'll have to see, but... I don't think this should hurt us that much. I think losing Trampkin would have been better than Coop. Now, we probably will lose this guy for free in free agency, but we did get a second for another guy. A guy we pretty much got for free, I believe. So, it kind of evens itself out. Sure, we could just get more and more and more, but I don't know. I would rather have Trampkin and maybe have another chance at the cup than just throw him away, and... sure, we get a second back, but maybe we miss out on the cup. I don't know. I feel a lot better keeping Trampkin, even if we lose him in free agency for nothing. Just because I feel like we have a way better chance at the cup with a guy like that. I don't know. It's something. I got a feeling. So I kind of tried to do like a halfway thing there, kind of, because I liked everyone's ideas. Everyone made solid points, and that's like the hardest part is like when everyone's making a solid point and you agree with everyone. You kind of need to find a middle ground because obviously you agree with both parties. But yeah, it's anyway. So I think that should work here. And was there anyone else who was listed to be depth? I don't think so. I think all our forwards, everything like that was all solid. But I'm going to double check everything just so I don't miss anything. Anything whatsoever. I know Makkinen's listed as depth, so just check out the forwards here. I think they're all like 78, 79. Elvin is sure, but I mean, we already know about him. No, everyone should be listed to be minor score. Other forwards still. Both these guys listed to be other forwards, so is that because they're, yeah, that's probably just because they're young. Osner, yeah. All right, so that's it. Goaltender-wise, I think they're solid. Yeah, Pumanovs, well, we know about him. All right, so that's going to be the move we make. I'm hoping Letang gets better at this year. His offensive stats are great, but I just want him to grow. He could. I'm hoping he does. His trade value is low, sure, but we'll see. All right, so now we can sim past the deadline and get the rest of the season done and check everything out. So let's do it. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully we didn't kill our team, but I'm pretty sure we... Holy crap. No thanks. Oh, you want Makinen? Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, right. Decline. Carefully decline that. What the hell? That was no way. No, 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 no. I don't want anything. I made my trade. I made my deal. Okay, we lose first game in overtime. Get the fuck out of here. No. Don't need any of these guys. Then we win the next game in overtime. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. It's a big loss there. Not accustomed to giving up that many goals either, but Arizona's a good team. Can we beat this team? Because, yeah, all right, we gave them a point, though. But we did beat that team, who we're basically fighting for first in the division with. Where was I going? Oh, yeah, scouting. I think I was doubling down on some defense here. Yeah, in the places that we've scouted. So 4 defensemen here. There we go. We can do 2 weeks there. I might have been able to get away with 1 because we already scouted forwards, but I'm just going to be safe. Better safe than sorry. All right, so another win right there. We've done good. We've gone pretty much 4-1 since the trade. Or no, sorry. Yeah, something else. But yeah, anyway. Again, when the games that we've lost, okay, except for those, like we've gotten some points out of some of the games we've lost. Half of them that we've lost here, we've actually gotten a point out of. So it's not all bad. We lose that one, but we still get a point. So I'm liking that we're still getting points sometimes when we lose. It hasn't been the strongest month though that you're here for us, but granted, we've had a very strong rest of the year. We should easily still get to a 50-win season as long as we don't screw things up here too bad. And I don't think we should. Let's go defenseman 2 weeks here. All right, come on now. There's a big win right there. And then a big loss. So we are starting to give up some goals, which is a bit weird. But it is kind of weird. We made 1 change and we started to give up a shit ton of goals. But, I mean, again, our guy was hovering under like 2 goals against a game. And that's definitely going to change after this stretch. But, I mean, there's 2 fucking shutouts in a row. That might have been backup and our starter, but... I'd still say our goals against is probably going to be one of the best in the NHL, if not the best. Although, yeah, it is we have lost some games here. To be fair, we have definitely lost some games. But, like I said, as long as we make the playoffs, hopefully we got a decent chance. We'll have to see with some of the younger guys we got how good of a chance we'll have. But I'm thinking it should be decent. Yeah, we're scoring a shit ton, but we're also kind of allowed some goals here at the end of the year. But we are scoring a shit ton. Wow. There's some lot of high-scoring games here at the end for both sides. All right, now a doubleheader to end it. There's an OT win and then another shutout. So 54, 19, and 9. That's all obviously still a successful freaking season. And we got to face Minnesota in the first round. So we'll see what they have at this point. But again, very strong season. Incredibly strong season. You can't really take anything away from that. Or away from us. Wow. Horvat with a 79-point season. So a big year for Bo Horvat. Good job. Goals for per game, 3.23 goals against per game. Yeah, so that definitely shot up with some of those, but it makes a bit of sense. We're still the best in the division. We couldn't hover around 2 for the entire year. That would be an insane thing to have happen, but 2.3 is good. Power play, not the greatest. Penalty kills, pretty good. Home record's amazing, and away record's actually still pretty good too. Last 10, 8-2-0. So again, very good year for us. We might actually have won the Actually, let's check that. Did we win the Presidents? With a 117-point season, Coyotes were 2 points behind us, surprisingly. Yes, we did win the Presidents, so there we have it. That's the second President's Trophy of this playthrough. I don't think we won the Cup when we won the Presidents, though. Could be wrong. No, I don't think so. I don't think we did. I can't remember, though. All right, so Bo Horvat, 79-point season. Berchi, 72 points. Varlamov, 68-point season with a 43-goal season. That's great. That's what I wanted out of him, like a 40-goal season. He freaking delivered. Stamkos, almost 60 points. Letang got a 50-point season at least, so that's good. Besser really fell off here. I'm not too sure why. Maybe he's a little pissed, but I mean, come on now, Besser. Got to score a bit more. Maybe I got to switch up that power play. I'm not too sure where he was playing on the power play. We'll have to check that. But all right, Granlund, 36 points. Gagliardi, 32 points. Was he an 82 or an 83? Did he jump up? I can't recall. But either way, he's did good season for him. -2, but still a good season. I think he should jump in this year still. He is 22, but I'm still think he should jump. Maybe not to the crazy elite guy, but maybe at least a second liner. All right, Gianta, 20 goals for Gianta somehow. That's funny. He got a 20-goal season there on the third line. Saranheimo, 25 points on the fourth line. And then Kreider, not as many penalties as he's actually fairly disciplined for an enforcer. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a kind of neat how disciplined he is for an enforcer. -4, but that's all good. All right, defensively. Oops, that'd be right wingers. Defensively, looks like Hutton led in points with 57. Dougie Fresh, 48. Ulevi, 40. Holtby with 29. Trampkin was 6. And then Pars got 3 points in 21 games. He was a -2. So, yeah, I was a bit afraid of that. And Trampkin, he was actually hovering around the same plus-minus the whole time, so it's not terrible. Let's see the goalies, because I'm sure that our top guy, he definitely dropped off. He couldn't hold that, but again, he still might be in line for a Vezina, although it did drop off quite a bit. But still, man. Those, yeah, it's still crazy good numbers. We had a backup that played quite a few games, but he had a tremendous record, so why not? That's probably the best backup record I've seen. Let's check the shutouts. 9 shutouts for Otterize, 4 shutouts for Maltby. That's 13 shutouts combined. It's an insane... Yeah, we have a great goaltending duo now, man. Incredible goaltending duo. Like, that could carry us pretty heavily. So that's why I wasn't too fussed about making some changes to the defense. I just was still kind of like, meh, about giving up Trampkin. It could maybe, again, I could have maybe got something for him and not ruined too much, but we'll see. Tarasenko leading in points with 98. McDavid with 92 and a -11. Oilers still can't figure out their shit, which is hilarious. As I think I've mentioned this before, but I find it hilarious that in this game, even like with McDavid, they somehow are like missing the playoffs like all the fucking time. Yet in the past, before they had McDavid, they had all those, first overall halfway busts. They would always make the playoffs. Like, Jesus, EA. What's up with your sim engine? Anyway, so top goal scorer, probably Tarasenko. Yeah, Varlamov, though, only 5 behind. So, hey, we may have a future top goal scorer here. Assist leader is most likely McDavid with that 70. Fowler, yeah, okay, well, that's all skaters. Yeah, the assist man. Yeah, no one even really close to McDavid when it came to assists. Horvat with 57 in 4th. He has 13 less than McDavid, so yeah, it's a pretty big gap there. Pretty solid gap. Holy shit, Horvat was a plus fucking, holy fuck. That first line, though. I didn't even realize. Holy. Is that... Wow, man. That's actually insane. Those are insane plus-minuses, man. What a first line we have. Pity we're only going to have him for a couple more years, but Berchi. at least will decline, but Horvat, wow. Horvat will have at least, pretty much we're going to take this guy until he retires. He's Horvat, man. Berchi's a different story, but wow. That plus minus, though. Let's see who the power play man is. Most likely, it's usually the top goals. Yeah, by a long shot, 20 power play goals. Who's the most clutch? Eichel, Burmistrov, Kadri, Tarasenko, Anderson, Kane tied. Varlamov with 7, so nice. Varlamov looks like he's got some clutch to him. But again, more goals, more chances to be clutch. All right, checking out defensemen now. Cam Fowler, 76 points. Ty Smith, 75. Riley, 72. And Werenski, this guy out of nowhere, drafted 8th overall, is now a 93 overall in his prime. Great season for him. Blue Jackets have something special. Erik Karlsson dropping off. Ekman Larson closing in on dropping off, so you can see the new generation taking over. Well, Fowler and Riley are now going to be the new veterans, and then Ty Smith, Werenski, they're the new kids on the block, basically. Hutton even declining with 57, but hey, 57 points, plus 22. Let's check out who's leading in plus minus. This guy, what team are you on? Is that Coyote? Yeah, it's the Coyotes. Yeah, so a good player right here. Oh my goodness, him and Chychrun, top plus minuses, then Yulson on the Flames. Okay, I was making sure there wasn't too many Coyotes up there. Yeah, some of our plus minuses dropped off a bit, but they're more even around the board. All right, goaltenders, let's see. This is the big one. Is our man the top guy? Nope. This Kovalev guy, shit. If he kept going the way he was before, he would have easily won that Vezina. But yeah, he definitely dropped off. No Vezina for you, man. Sucky. Was he considered a rookie, though? That's the question. I'll check out rookie skaters first. Damn. I was hoping Otterize would get that, but everyone had a good year. Ooh, wait a sec. Only 35 points is the top rookie here. So if he is indeed a rookie, he's probably winning that Calder. I don't think he is. Although it depends on how many backup games he got. No, I don't think he is. Fuck. No, I don't think he's a rookie. That sucks. Yeah, so he got enough, unfortunately got enough games played. Yeah, not a rookie. Damn. I was kind of hoping. But whatever. Whatever, man. Still a good job. Yeah, I think he definitely got enough games played last year, which sucks. But hey, whatever, man. Still a fantastic year. Playoffs will be next. That was just a great year for our team overall. And here's how the brackets are shaping up. We're going to be taking on the Wild in the first round. Should be an interesting playoffs here. See if we got what it takes for the repeat. It's going to be tough. You know, we had a big turnover with more youth hitting the lineup. We had a great season, but can that translate into success in the playoffs? Very tough to call. We'll have to see what happens, guys. Matches are set. Time to make our move. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember to leave a like, and I'll see you in the playoffs.